How did you feel learning about your great grandma? You know, because it was interesting in the beginning of our conversation, you didn't really know her in the capacity of being like this really important person to so many different movements. You knew her as your great grandma. Was there anything that you learned about her during this time that you were just like, I had no idea, and it really took you by surprise?
More with her personality than her work. I mean, I'll read things about like action she participated in, and I'm really taken aback just by like her bravery. But that's also something that like people have told me about her many times. I did some work of going through, there are archives of her belongings that exist at different like universities and libraries, because something that I think I talk about in the book, but just is true of her, is that she kept everything that she ever had, like all these scraps of paper that are flyers and petitions, all these, you know, trinkets that she got from friends or gave to friends. I mean, again, with the correspondence, she has address books on address books of like every single person she ever met ever. And so there's like 40 or 50 boxes of her things. It's really crazy to have like just these tangible pieces of her and her work and her legacy and her life. So I did some work partially for research and partially to help my family out of going through some of the boxes that are still with my family and aren't at like Columbia and USC. And I also went to Columbia University and looked through the archives there. And one thing I found is that she was this incredible photographer, which no one had ever told me. Like, and she just had like, I don't know, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of just little film camera photos. Like, I think she probably went through a camera like every 2 weeks of her life or something.
Wow.
So there's this incredible, like abundant wealth of photos from Harlem and from the movements and from her human rights missions like around the world. And, you know, there's very few of her because she's behind the camera, but it's like art and culture and life and movement work. All of this is just like documented by her. And I was so like taken aback by how beautiful it was and how she would frame people and really capture that. So that was like kind of amazing. And then another thing I thought was just like made me laugh was I was looking through this scrapbook, I guess, of like comrades of hers and like friends of hers had like contributed their stories about her. And there was one from a woman, I can't remember who she was, but she was saying that when Yuri would host those open houses in Harlem that anyone could come to every Saturday night, anybody off the street, it was artists, activists, friends, but also just like anyone was welcome. They were saying that like if she had a friend and like if she was friends with a guy and he had like messed with a girl or like disrespected someone, a girlfriend, she would still invite the ex-girlfriends and like let them come first. And then when they left, then she would call up like the guy and be like, okay, you can come now. And I was like, that's so funny. Like, she's a girl's girl. Like, I love that. So it's just like little personality things that I'm like, I just wish I had like more time to know her and like hang out with her.
Yeah.
Yeah.